tell me who this Prometheus is?
He calls himself Adrian Chase.
I gave your girlfriend an exclusive.
What did you do to her?
We have to find Susan.
I'm 10 steps ahead of you, and you haven't even figured out what game we're playing yet.
I'm gonna finish this.
If you've seen the promo for next week's episode, you know that Oliver finds out almost immediately that Chase is Prometheus. What I really like is that Chase is put himself in a position where he doesn't have to extricate himself from his day-to-day work. He can stay on as the district attorney because he has thought so far ahead of Oliver this year. I mean, if you're planning something, but the other person doesn't know you're planning it, it doesn't make the person who's the victim of the scheme stupid. It means they're in the dark. And Adrian has put Oliver in checkmate, which is why, conveniently, the title of our next episode is Checkmate.
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. We got to talk all about Prometheus, Arrow stuff. Stephen Amell dropped a couple bombs that I included in the video too. Careful for spoilers for last week's Arrow if you haven't seen it yet. The reason I included that Stephen Amell clip is because he did a Q&A where he dropped a whole bunch of really cool bombs about stuff that's coming up, so I included some of the gems from that in this video. So I'll say a new round of the Flash Ring giveaway starts now. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment about Arrow in this video. But the trailer, like he says, Oliver's literally been put in checkmate by Adrian Chase. So it's all about literal checkmate, but a lot of you are big DC fans, maybe you watch Smallville. They did a version of Checkmate from the comics with Amanda Waller, their version of Amanda Waller. Arrow hasn't actually done Checkmate yet, they've done Argus. But the cool thing is Easter egg from Legends of Tomorrow is that Valentina Vostok, the character that became that crazy female Firestorm during season 1, she was a member of Checkmate in the comics.
It yearns to behold, Professor.
Without the splicer. Without the splicer, you'll never be able to control our nuclear reaction. You have to listen to me, Dr. Vostok. Unless we unfuse, you'll end up killing us both.
So the comic book well is pretty deep, but as Stephen Amell says, Oliver finds out almost immediately that Adrian Chase is Prometheus, and he's thought so far ahead that he can still be the district attorney and harass Oliver during the day, just mess with his head and do Prometheus stuff at night, which is where we get to the post-credit scene from the last episode. He grabs Susan Williams and rigs her up in this bomb-looking trap here, and then over the course of the episode just completely torments him. You see him in this hospital here, so they mix and match a couple scenes. The trailer's always broken up, it's not a linear thing. So you see Oliver talking to the police chief, but if you look in this other scene over here where they're in the hospital confronting each other with all these machines hooked up to this guy, the guy is actually the police chief. So Prometheus is strategically messing with Oliver's head and also at the same time turning Green Arrow into enemy number 1 of the city. We finally see Talia in what looks like a modern day scene where she's explaining Prometheus. He's calling himself Adrian Chase. So it'll be interesting to see how she ran into him in the past. There was a lot of talk about flashbacks, so I'll include that Stephen Amell clip where he's talking about how he's really excited to not do flashbacks, at least not in the same way. It's a very different type of flashback that they're going to be doing going forward. But they'll continue to bounce back and forth between past and present day as they contextualize Prometheus. Like, who is this person now? We're learning about that in present day. But who is the man who sought out Talia to train to fight Oliver?
Flashbacks take up time, and by the way, not just my time, but story time that could be devoted to other things. And there's a general sense of accomplishment that we set out with the idea of telling a 5-year backstory, which is a relatively audacious thing to do for a television show, and we got a chance to complete it. Incroyable! So I'm excited for season 6, largely because I don't know what's going to happen.
And on top of all that, I know a lot of you are wondering, because we have Talia, does that mean future seasons will have Talia versus Nyssa battle to reform the League of Assassins? Because as of the show right now, it doesn't exist. So I think there's a chance that they could reform it in a future season through Talia and Nyssa. But because Katrina Law, the actress that plays Nyssa, is on another TV show, it's going to be really hard to do. So that might be something that they're locking down for season 6. So the other really cool twist from last week is Vigilante not revealing their identity. The producers have said that they will not reveal that person's identity until season 6. So we already know one of the big threads that's going to continue. So like we introduced the new Black Canary character. She'll obviously go into season 6 with a big arc, but now we know Vigilante is too. Usually they don't spin out really big plot points for future seasons till like the final couple episodes. But now we know that Vigilante is going to continue to be a really big character. So this is what Stephen Amell said about Vigilante. It's kind of funny.
Never imagined Adrian being Prometheus, mostly because I thought for sure he was Vigilante. My question is, who is Vigilante then? Is he also going to be someone we least expect? Maybe. How do you know it's a he? I mean, it would be a very tall woman, but that's okay.
It doesn't necessarily confirm that Vigilante is a woman. It's just he's trying to say, don't assume that it's a man because the voice is really deep and they seem kind of big. It just seemed like after last week's episode, just watching them move around, the way their body looked in profile, that they could be a woman or just a really thin-looking man. But the cool thing about not revealing their identity is that when we get to season 6 and they rip the mask off, they can be like, oh my god, it was this person the whole time. It can be a big twist and they can pay it off in a big way if they're not able to get the actor on the show this season. So people always wonder why Manu Bennett can't come on the show because he's a regular on another show, so scheduling is a nightmare, things like that. I don't think that Vigilante is actually Slade Wilson, but I do think it's somebody that they just have trouble getting on the show this season, that they're booking for next season, so it can be like, oh my god, it's this huge character. But along those lines, Stephen Amell dropped another big bomb about big characters coming back or big new characters from the comics coming on.
And I think that we have the deepest cast that we've ever had at any point in the show. Actually, just got some news about that yesterday. Very cool stuff.
So the thing about that, he could be talking about one of two things. He could be talking about a really big character from the past, like a huge deep cut coming back, or they got some really big, amazing character from one of the other TV shows, or a new character from the comics that's going to come on. So it just confirms that really big stuff is happening. And even though Arrow changes stuff from the comics, they are doing a lot of big comic book things now. And I think as we head into like the final seasons of the show, like season 6, season 7, they'll continue to do that. So let me know in the comments, who do you think Vigilante is? Do you think it's a character from a previous season who's come back, like say Roy has put the mask on and has gone a little bit nuts? Or do you think it's a brand new character that we haven't seen before but has some sort of deeper meaning to the characters? What I'm going to do next is I'll post my Walking Dead video later tonight. There's a whole bunch of Logan Easter eggs and Deadpool stuff that I'm going to wait to post till Monday just because so much stuff is going on. So tomorrow, Tuesday, a whole bunch of Logan, Deadpool, Flash stuff happening. I'll say congratulations to last week's Flash Ring giveaway winner, Max Levin. Please private message me on the back end of my channel so I can get your contact details. There was a new round that started in this video. I'll announce the winner the next time I post a DC video. While you wait for that, you can click here for next week's Flash video, and you can click here for my Deadpool trailer video. Thank you so much for watching. Let's high five. I'll see you guys in the next video.